We have to speak about Nikola Motors. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor and I got the clothing line to prove it. And today we're speaking about Nkla. More than 3 months ago, back at the start of June, when airlines weren't in the best place, I said Nikola Motors makes Delta Airlines look like Johnson & Johnson, and that quote has held up through over the last few months. I've not made a video on these guys on the channel for about 2 months because, well, I was raised, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I want to get a few things straight right off the bat, okay? Number one, I am not invested in this company, nor do I think I ever will be. Number two, I do genuinely wish them all the best, and I really do hope they are a successful company. But as of right now, they have no revenue, they have no sales, they don't have charging stations. They're a concept, and anybody can create a concept in my opinion. There was an absolutely brutal report released recently. Now this report was by a company called Hindenburg Research, and the title of it is this: Nkla, how to parlay an ocean of lies into a partnership with the largest auto OEM in America. Now I have to say, in general, everything I read from a company like Hindenburg Research, I will take with a pinch of salt. Because as of late, we have seen a lot of short attacks. So I do want to make that very clear from the start. Everything that we go through today and everything that you read by yourself in your own time, do take it with a pinch of salt. To be honest, I don't actually think there is the biggest ulterior motive in the world here, and I will get into why at the same time later on in the video. And I really do want to make it clear that I also have no ulterior motive. I don't have puts. I am not short selling this stock. I am not trying to run it down or up. I am involved in no way whatsoever. And I'm not a financial advisor, baby. But this is the talk of the moment right now. I am getting questions about them on every single video, in my Instagram DMs, on my Patreon, literally everywhere. And a lot of people come to me for electric vehicle investing related advice, so we can't ignore this any longer. So today we're just going to go through a few things that I think are very important to understand right now. So right before we get into it, guys, could I please ask you just to hit that juicy like button? It really does help me in the channel out. I would appreciate it massively. If you're new around here, what are you waiting for, my friend? Hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family. And please drop me a comment down below. You know, let me know what you think about Nkla, whether you are invested or you're not. I'm interested in hearing both sides of the story. With that being said, guys, into the video. So guys, given the fact that I've no interest in Nkla, I obviously don't keep up to date with every single piece of news that comes out. But what I want to show you on the 6-month chart is ever since they made their highs, they have been coming back down, okay? And up until this little spike here, when I say little, I mean very big spike here, they were down as much as 55% from their all-time highs, except it's actually more. So you'll see here, Tuesday the 9th of June, it says we have a stock price of $79.73. That's where they closed the day. But there is actually a 52-week high of $93.99. That is where they hit that day. So they're actually down a whole lot more. So it's been downtrending, you know, they have their big jumps up. Nkla is no stranger to 20, 30, even 40% days. We see this here. Friday 4th of September to Tuesday 8th of September, one trading day, up over 40%. That was off the back of this news right here. General Motors takes 11% stake in Nkla to team up on electric truck. So I mean, having General Motors on your side, that's absolutely fantastic, and it did, for a very short period of time, fill investors with confidence. And then the preceding 3 days, they went and they made new lows. They lost 35.8%, and if we go back to before that peak happened, they're actually down nearly 10%. And again, they're trading down in today's pre-market. Now, I don't want to waste any of your time. This is the main thing that needs to be spoken about today, okay? Now, this is a very long article. If you're a Nkla investor, please read the whole thing. I'm not a Nkla investor, and I'm also a fairly busy person, and I don't want to spend 4 hours looking into a company that I have zero, and I mean zero, intentions of buying. So what I have done is I have scanned it, and I will speak about some of the key points. But the very good thing about this article is at the top here, it has a lot of bullet points of quite key points from the article. I'm not going to go through every one of them, but I'll go through a few that I think are particularly important. So Hindenburg Research is saying they have gathered extensive evidence, including recorded phone calls, text messages, private emails, and behind-the-scenes photographs detailing dozens of false statements by Nkla founder Trevor Milton. Now I want to try and be as fair as possible, so I want to let you know that if you go to Trevor Milton's Twitter, you will see he has a number of tweets defending himself. Well, when I say defending himself, I want you to see how I have addressed each point, but it will have to wait to be until the SEC finishes their work. Let's be clear, Nkla approached the SEC, not the other way around. So more than likely within a day or two, we're going to see, you know, Nikla's counter argument. And I want Nkla to do well, so hopefully, you know, they can kind of shut down this whole article. But again, I just have to say, through reading his tweets, there's just constant swearing. And I mean, I know we're all adults, and I swear outside of my YouTube videos quite a lot. But I mean, if I was the founder of this company, I would want to show myself in a calm, cool and collected manner. I wouldn't want to be running around swearing all over Twitter causing a big scene. But anyway, I could just be reading too in between the lines. So Trevor has managed to parlay these false statements made over the course of a decade into a $20 billion public company. After this sell-off, their market cap is all the way down to $12.18 billion. So now here's one of the things I really do want to speak about, because this is one that's quite interesting and I really do want to see what Trevor Milton has to say for this one. In October 2019, Nkla announced it would revolutionize the battery industry. This was to be done through a pending acquisition, but the deal fell through when Nkla realized A, the technology was vaporware, and B, the president of the battery company had been indicted months earlier over allegations that he conned NASA by using his expense account to procure numerous workers. Nkla has never walked back claims relating to its battery technology. Instead, Trevor continued to publicly hype the technology even after becoming aware of the above issues. The revolutionary battery technology never existed. And now Nkla plans to use GM's battery technology instead. So if this does come out as true, which I think it will, why not just be honest? You know what I mean? Just say that the deal fell through. It is what it is. This kind of thing always happens with traded companies. And now you have secure GM's battery technology. I mean, they're amazing. They're a very well-known, very respected brand. In addition to using GM's battery technology, Nkla seeks to use the automaker's production and fuel cell capabilities. Nkla seems to be bringing nothing to the partnership but concept designs, their brand name, and up to $700 million they will be paying GM for costs related to production. Now again, please guys, take everything you read here with a pinch of salt, regardless of whether you're a bear or a bull. So inexpensive hydrogen is fundamental to the success of Nkola's business model. I mean, that is their entire business model essentially. Trevor has claimed in a presentation to hundreds of people and in multiple interviews to have succeeded at cutting the cost of hydrogen by about 81% compared to peers, and to already be producing hydrogen. Nkla has not produced any hydrogen at this price or at any price, as he later admitted when pressed by media. So again guys, there is bending the truth and there is just outright lying. Trevor claimed that Nikola's headquarters had 3.5 megawatts of solar panels on its roof producing energy. Aerial photos of the roof and later media reports show that the supposed panels don't exist. I mean, it's just like this web of lies. And the thing is, it's not even things you really have to lie about. I mean, why would you lie about solar panels on your roof? Another little lie that just isn't necessary. Trevor claims Nkla designs all key components in-house, but they appear to simply be buying or licensing from third parties. One example, we found that Nkla actually buys inverters from a company called Cascadia. In a video showing off its in-house inverters, Nkla concealed the Cascadia label with a piece of masking tape. In a July 2020 podcast, Trevor said, Nkola's tray truck, we have 5 of them coming off the assembly line right now in Ulm, Germany. A spokesperson for the manufacturing partner building the trucks confirmed this month they haven't made any trucks yet. I mean, it's just a web of lies, isn't it? We also present evidence that subsequent reveals were fictitious. In 2019, Nkla revealed a next generation version of its off-road vehicle. We learned that it was scrapped within weeks of the unveiling due to manufacturing challenges. The redesign work was then quietly outsourced. Now this one right here, I don't know what to think of it really, to be honest. As I said, I am not even the most informed Nkla investor, I'll be very honest with you people, I want to make that very clear. But if this one is to be true, that's very bad. Nkola's much-touted multi-billion-dollar order book is filled with fluff. US Express reportedly accounts for a third of its reservations, representing about $3.5 billion in orders. US Express had $1.3 million in cash on hand last quarter. Something about that doesn't add up, people. And just one more thing, Trevor has ensured he is not going down with the ship. He cashed out $70 million around IPO and amended his share lockup from 1 year to 180 days. If he is fired, his equity awards immediately vest and he is entitled to collect $20 million over 2 years. So, like, I mean, looking at these points, it really doesn't paint a pretty picture. And again, guys, I have very mixed opinions about Hindenburg Research and a lot of these guys who do write scathing articles in general. And I do want Nkla to succeed, I really do. Anything that helps the world out, I want to succeed. I don't care if they're going to be a competitor to companies I'm actually invested in, it's fine. So before we go through a few more points, because as I said, this is a very long thing, I want to show you a few more things quickly. The law offices of Frank or Cruz announces an investigation of Nkla Corporation on behalf of investors. Portnoy Law Firm is investigating Nkla now. Trevor Research calls it a total fraud. I mean, there's a lot of other people now, you know, jumping on this bandwagon. Usually we don't see all of these different companies coming at a company all at once. And of course we have Weislot as well. I have zero respect for these guys, so I didn't even want to include them, but they're just hopping on the bandwagon as they do with every single company ever. And there's just one more thing I'd actually like to say about Hindenburg Research quickly, okay? That makes them a little bit different than the rest of these people to me. If you go onto their website, you can find an About Us section, okay? And they have this track record here that goes down for a good few years. And there was one here that really caught my attention, was this one. in regards to, you know, people putting out these scathing reports to short a stock. 2017 November, we wrote an article about Persian gold and identified a key individual behind a series of irregular company disclosures. That individual was later charged by the SEC as the primary strategist of a group alleged to have run multiple pump and dump schemes. And you can see they did it again. They got a pump and dump scheme. They got people charged with fraud. Now again, I'm still taking absolutely everything they say with a pinch of salt, but I just think they have a little bit more credibility than a lot of other people. Hindenburg Research is a name a lot of you will actually know. And now after reading through it again, I've just seen this. After extensive research, we have taken a short position in shares of Nkla Corp. This report represents our opinion and we encourage every reader to do their own due diligence. Please see our full disclaimer at the bottom of the report. So they have taken a short position. Now you are allowed to take a short position, of course, and write a scathing report as long as what you are saying is factual. Now one other thing I would like to say about Nikola'S short volume right now. This here is the short volume ratio, so obviously the higher it is, the more people that are shorting. And we can see that yes, it's gone up, but it's actually not really very high at all compared to where it's been in the past. We can see the short volumes of 30 million, 14, 17 and 32 million over the last 4 days, but we can also see the total volumes were up to 134 million, 51, 66 and 99 million, and the short volume ratios have gone up quite considerably, but I mean, it's for quite evident reasons. I mean, we've seen this happen with Nkla before when they went up 5, 6, even 700%. Of course, the short volume went absolutely insane because people are cashing out, so it doesn't really look like a manipulated market to me whatsoever. Trevor Milton's career path leading up to Nkla. November 2009, Trevor Milton launched D-Hybrid Inc. with a partner kicking off his EV trucking journey. It ended in litigation with allegations of misappropriation and false promises, which seems to be somewhat what we've been seeing lately. It got off to a good start. Later on, they were sued. In the lead up to the lawsuit, Trevor reached out to new investors claiming the contract was worth $250 to $300 million. Reality, we had the contract, it was only 16 million. And there is an email here showing that. That's not very good, is it? But again, just do wait for Trevor Milton's response. In 2012, Trevor pitched investors on his team, including an experienced CTO. But the named individual was never D-Hybrid CTO. So basically, you don't need to go through all this. There's a history of lies, going back pretty much over a decade. There is another thing here, okay? It's speaking about when Nkla showed their truck going at high speeds. So this is quite a funny one to me. 2018, in order to continue the appearance of progress, Nkla posted a YouTube video of his Nkla 1 in motion on the road. Text messages from a former employee revealed the truck was simply filmed rolling down a big hill. I just love the wording of that. It was simply filmed rolling down a big hill. We rolled the vehicle in neutral down the same hill. We reached a top speed of 56 miles per hour and it rolled for about 2.1 miles. Now again, I don't know how true this is, but it's just funny. I remember earlier on we were speaking about lack of solar panels. Here are those images. And again, I just want to speak about this one here because this is one of the biggest ones to me and we know it to be true. And in my opinion, it just really does take away from Trevor Milton's credibility big time. When Trevor claimed Nkla produces hydrogen for under $3 per kg, about 81% cheaper than the rest of the world, he was pressed on the subject only a couple of months ago. He acknowledged Nkla produces no hydrogen at all. I mean, if I was an investor and I'm finding out things like this, that's ridiculous. Nikola'S director of hydrogen production / infrastructure is Trevor Milton's little brother, who worked paving driveways in Hawaii prior to joining Nkla. So Nikola'S head of infrastructure development, in charge of leading development of Nikola'S 700 plus hydrogen station network, is the former CEO and general manager of a golf club in Idaho. And Trevor Milton just says, we've assembled one of the best teams in the world. Nikola'S chief engineer, a background largely in software development and pinball machine repair. There's just a lot of this is factual. Trevor Milton just seems to love to stretch the truth a little bit or else just completely lie. And that's not something you can afford to have in a company. But that is the majority of what I want to say today about Nkla, people. So again, I really am not trying to bash Nkla whatsoever. I'm just getting asked about this so much. I do just think it's really weird that, you know, GM got involved and they're acting like nothing is happening. I'll wait and see what happens here. From when Trevor Milton said, been working on rebuttal of Hindenburg for 14 hours to provide a clear, factual, low emotional answer to the report. It's funny that he says low emotional when you just go and look at all of his tweets. But anyway, right now guys, I think you have to just wait for that report to come out to see what he has to come back with, because at the end of the day, you should always have both sides of the argument. So again, everything that you heard in today's video and everything that you read from Hindenburg Research or anybody else, always take with a grain of salt. But yeah, my opinions on Nkla have not changed whatsoever. I still have zero intentions of investing. I am not invested. I am not shorting. I am not doing anything of the sorts. I just think there are a lot of better companies out there to put your hard-earned money into. And I mean, I'm all for a speculative investment. I really, really am. But yeah, this just is a little bit over the top for me. Weird company. Who knows what's going to happen though? Maybe in a couple of years we'll all look back and be like, Wow, we actually should have invested. But I'd much rather put my money into Workhorse, or Lordstown Motors, or Tesla, or Neo, or Hyliion even at current prices. But each to their own, people, each to their own. If you have watched until the end of the video, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for supporting me, it means a lot. If you did enjoy, could I please ask you just gently tap that juicy like button? Drop me a comment and subscribe if you're new around here, all that really helps me out. And also, if you want to join my Discord channel, we're up to nearly 1,000 members in there. If you want to get full access to all of my private channels, including my buy and sell alerts, ticker symbols to watch, etc, etc, click the first link in the description. And if you want to join the free channels, hit the second link in the description. But anyway, guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed today's video. I have another one coming out later on. Have a great day, people. Peace.